Hello and welcome to Kivy School. Today we will be packaging the beautiful app setup with PyInstaller. We will follow the PyInstaller instructions on Kivy School and make one change, which is to convert a Kivy Reloader app back into a Kivy app right here, so we can package with PyInstaller. Okay, so let's get started. So the instructions are going to be here on Kivy School. We go to Welcome to Kivy School. Already on the main sidebar, you're going to see PyInstaller instructions. So let's just first review what is this beautiful app setup. Again, it's a HelloWorld app with hot reloading because we have made it with Kivy Reloader. So I can show you again. This will hot reload. And then if I press Control S, suddenly it hot reloads. And then also I can change this print. If you see right here, I'm pressing, it's printing ABCDE. Suddenly I will print new information. And then if I press Control S, I didn't change anything. I just saved the file. I'm going to press this button again. It will instead print new information. So now that we have an overview of what this app is, let's try and package it with PyInstaller. So on the Kivy School instructions, let's scroll down. The first thing to do is have a working Kivy app to package. So we already do. It's the beautiful app setup from the Kivy Reloader instructions. So the next step is to install PyInstaller with Poetry. So now you need to add PyInstaller to your virtual environment. Type Poetry add PyInstaller. So here I can just copy and then right click to paste, enter. Then it will say the current project's Python requirement is not compatible. So this is just something where Poetry is letting you know that a package might not be compatible with other versions. But in this case, it's very solvable. So it's saying that the Python requirement is greater than 310 and less than 4 for my project. Why that's the case is if we go look at pyproject.toml, I'm just saying greater than 310. But if you look here, it says PyInstaller requires Python less than 314 and greater than 3.8. So obviously, there's a version where, let's say it's Python 3.2, right? That's greater than 310, so that's valid. But here, in PyInstaller, that's not valid because 3.2 is greater than 314. Because my project requirement right here is saying greater than 310 and less than 4. This can already accept higher Python versions than PyInstaller. So Poetry gives you a hint on how to solve it. For PyInstaller, a possible solution will be to set the Python property to greater than 310 and less than 314. Let's just try it. I'm going to copy and paste, and then I'll try again. Poetry add PyInstaller. PyInstaller is going to be installed. Next, what we're going to do is go to step 3. We're going to choose between one file or one directory. So for me, I like doing the one file instructions just because they're a lot more complicated and it's better to teach. So first, let's enter our virtual environment. We've already entered our virtual environment. To make a single executable, run this command and proceed to the next step. We're going to do python-m for module, PyInstaller, one file, and the name of this one file is HelloWorld. I'm going to copy this and then right click. And another thing is, it's assuming that your main.py is called main.py. If your entry point was different, like say star.py or run.py, then you would replace main.py with star.py or run.py. Now you see that PyInstaller is finished building. So when you run this command, PyInstaller will automatically create a dist folder for you. So let's just inspect that distribution folder and see if that app works. I'm going to go like this, turn it on. Okay, and it immediately crashes. So one trick we can do in order to see this error message, type cmd. And when you type cmd in this address bar, it automatically takes you to the correct address. So now I'll do hello world again. Then type enter. And as you can see here, failed to execute main due to unhandled exception. We can go up, expected string bytes or OS path like object not none type. So this is a problem with Kivy Reloader when you're packaging Kivy Reloader with PyInstaller. This is because Kivy Reloader is trying to look for buildozer.spec and Kivy Reloader toml. But these are development files. You don't want to give these development files to your end user. What we're going to do is now convert our app from a Kivy Reloader app to just a regular Kivy app. So again, we'll go right here, and it's very easy. In the init.py, when you import your app right here, you can go take this out and then go if you have an attribute of sys MEIPASS, this is a PyInstaller unique attribute. This is set when PyInstaller freezes your app. In the sys module, it will set MEIPASS. So you can just check if you have the attribute MEIPASS, and then if you are frozen right here, you will, from Kivy app, import app. Then you will just run a regular Kivy app. Else, if you're in your development environment, you can then run Kivy Reloader app, import app. This is how you convert your Kivy Reloader apps into Kivy apps when your app is frozen with PyInstaller. So I'm just going to remove this extra line, Control S to save. Now another thing you have to do is fix the spec file. So now that we have converted the Kivy Reloader app into a Kivy app, we still have to do the regular Kivy things to get PyInstaller to work. So let's scroll down. This is just an update. Don't rerun this command, because every time you rerun this command, all you're doing is making a new HelloWorld spec right here. What that means is that all of your edits to the spec file will get rewritten by this file right here. Don't ever run this command more than once. Just run it once just to get the initial spec file. After that, run this other command right here, PyInstaller-m, use this spec file, and then optionally you can use clean. That way you don't rewrite your spec file. So again, there's two things we need to do. Number one is to fix the spec file that is created. So in order to do that, right here, to add SDL2 and glue to PyInstaller, you need to add to the top of the spec file as line 2 under this line, import SDL2 and glue. So I'm going to copy, go to the top and paste. And then another change is scroll down, and after a datas within the EXE arguments, replace the empty list line with this, P for P. So I'll just copy, then scroll down. I'm going to find an empty list, paste, save. And then again, there's an example spec file. So let's just move this right here, go up. So from tree depth, that's correct. And then a datas right here, tree P for P right here, and then hello world, hello world. So we've already updated our spec file. Now we have to do the last update, which is to add your KV file, resources, hooks, and hidden imports. This is because you need to give your important files to PyInstaller. And I'll tell you, there's one very important file, which is already the KV file. PyInstaller doesn't know where your KVs are. So the trick with this beautiful app is you don't have to give all the paths of beautiful app to PyInstaller. Just simply give it the beautiful app folder. So this is because in beautiful app, in screens and in main.py, we're already telling our Kivy app how to locate our KV using beautiful app as the root folder. Now what we can do is just give beautiful app to PyInstaller, and then our app right here will take care of finding our KV file. Very specifically, this load KV path has been modified to also look in the sys MEIPASS folder, so your KV files will be loaded correctly. So I will show you how to update and give the beautiful app folder to PyInstaller so it works when packaged as a standalone executable. So right here, I'm going to scroll down. TLDR, you need to insert your file or folder location into the datas line right here. It needs to be in the form location on PC with respect to your current working directory, and then location in the packaged app. So basically what it's going to look like is like this. So it's going to be source, comma, and then destination, right? And then there's a few tricks. One trick is that your destination could just be dot. What does this mean is that you unload all the files into the current working directory. But right now, what we want to do is, let me Control Z. What's our source? Our source is beautiful app. So I want to send this beautiful app folder, and then I will send it to a destination. I want to send it to beautiful app in the PyInstaller MEIPASS folder. So like this. So we're going to send beautiful app to beautiful app. This is good because we can preserve the path structure. Let's say I send beautiful app to the current working directory. What's going to happen is that you're going to lose the beautiful app. Everything will be in screens in the MEIPASS folder of the app. And that's not going to be good, because then here you're going to have to modify it. So it would be like if has attribute this MEIPASS, right? Then you would also import this. Then you would say do this, else you do this. And what would this mean is that if you send the beautiful app folder to the current working directory, you'll lose beautiful app, and you have to look at screens main.py if you are packaged in PyInstaller. So this is not good. You can just take the simpler solution, and the simpler solution is to just send beautifulapp to beautifulapp, preserve all the file structure, and then you can simply go right here. Do not think about it. You can just follow the recommended app design, which is to find beautifulapp screens main screen.kv, and you don't have to think about file structures while you have packaged your app in PyInstaller. Now that we have done the two things, which is fixing the spec file, right? So we've added this line right here and this line right here. So the Kivy window builds. Next, we're going to go right here, and then we've also gave it our beautiful app, which has our KV files and our Py files. Now it's going to work. So what we're going to do is we are not going to run this command right here. We're not going to say this. We're going to go down and we're going to say python -m PyInstaller, use our spec file. Do not rewrite it. Use our spec file. And then for me, I personally like --clean. Sometimes it fixes some bugs that are just unsolvable. So let's go up and then right click. I'm going to use the HelloWorld spec. Press enter, and I'll see you in like 5 minutes. Now let's inspect the distribution folder. Let's go right here actually, because it's already open. Open. Let's double click. Let's see it work. Okay, and there you go. Welcome to Kivy Reloader. It's good to see you. This will hot reload. Actually, it won't hot reload anymore because it's a regular Kivy app. As you can see right here, there's no Kivy Reloader message. Also, if you want to turn off this console, all you have to do is go to HelloWorld spec. It says right here console is true, but I could easily say console is equal to false. So for end users, they won't see the console. So there you go. That's how you convert a Kivy Reloader app into a Kivy app and then package with PyInstaller to create a single file executable. So this has been Kivy School. Thank you for watching.